My name is Emily Baker, and I've been asked to give a short biographical sketch. I am originally from Elmhurst, Illinois. My father owned a small residential construction company, Alden Construction. I call it small, but actually he built at least half of the houses in DuPage County, so I suppose that's a relative thing. I went to school at the University of Illinois and I majored in communications, and it was there during my junior year that I met my husband, Charles. He was a law student at the school and we fell in love immediately. By the time we got to my senior year, I was pregnant, which incidentally is not the official story on that. But we did get married in my senior year of college, and once I graduated and Charles passed the bar, we bought a house in Naperville with the help of my parents, and we settled there in time to have our son Carl that summer after I graduated from college. Now, there were some complications with my pregnancy with Carl, and they left me unable to have any more children of my own. So after about 5 years, we went to China and we brought home our daughter, Jen. She was about 5 months old at the time, and the most beautiful thing you have ever seen, and the circle of our family was complete. It was around this time that Charles became very involved in his political career. It was moving really quickly and he wasn't able to be with the family as much as he'd like. So as much as I had always dreamed of being a working mom, I felt it was more important that I was the anchor in the house and I stayed home to be with my kids. They are now in undergrad and graduate school respectively, and so it is my turn to leave the nest. My college roommate Colleen Harding opened a PR firm in Naperville about 10 years ago, started asking me to come work for her right away, but I deferred until now. So I work for her, and my client, ironically enough, is the city of Naperville itself. You can imagine what a joy it is for me to go to work every day and promote this wonderful community that I love. What does it mean to be an American? This is something I've been thinking about lately. I'm very proud to be an American. My family has deep roots in this country. We have been here a long time. I've always loved the idea that you could come to this country with nothing and work hard and have whatever kind of a life you want for yourself and your family. And so I've always thought of myself as an American, but as my life goes on, I realize more and more I'm confronted with the fact that what I am is an American woman. And that changes things a bit. Actually, that changes things a lot. I stayed at home with my family. It was really the only option at the time. And it's not a choice that I regret. It was an important job and I did it well, and I'm very proud of that fact. But I had always planned on a life of my own that included using the things that I learned at school and using my natural abilities and talents. And I set all of that aside. I, as it were, deferred my own American dream in service of this other thing. And now I'm at a place where I can burst through that door and grab that brass ring and have the life that I want to have, except that what I'm discovering, much to my dismay, is that there really are two tiers to this society. And I feel as an American woman like I'm a second-class citizen a lot of the time. The doors that I thought would be open to anyone who wanted to walk through them aren't necessarily open to me. And that is a really sad surprise that I'm faced with so late in life. No family is perfect, and that applies to the Baker family as well. My husband is a good man, but he is a selfish man. There is very little room for anything outside of Charles's vision of how things should go. That's come into play quite a bit recently with our son, Carl. Carl has always been the apple of his father's eye, the spit out of his mouth. But when Carl went away to school, he experienced a sea change. Carl recently came out, both as a gay man and as a liberal Democrat. And honestly, I don't know which one of those was harder for Charles to swallow. I wasn't surprised by either of them, but that's just a mother's intuition. I have to say, I have been so proud watching Carl and watching the courage with which he speaks his truth, regardless of whatever sort of pressure he gets from his dad, whatever kind of societal pressure he may feel. He sticks to his guns and is honest about who he is and champions his own rights in this world. And it has inspired me to do the same as I go off on this journey of my own adult life, establishing my identity as something other than someone's mother or someone's wife. My daughter Jen is a little bit of a different story. She's just come back from a study abroad program in France and decided that what she wants to do is to teach high school French, which is all well and good. Teaching is a noble profession, but why not use her skills to do something a little bit bigger with her life? Maybe become a diplomat or work for a multinational. And for that matter, why French in the first place? She has Chinese heritage, and Mandarin is so valuable and of so much use in this society. And I get no support from Charles whatsoever in terms of my ideas and my dreams for my daughter. He figures his plan for her is that she's going to go get a teaching job, and then eventually she'll get married and she'll have some kids and she'll stop teaching and just stay home and raise her kids the way her mother did, the way my mother did. And he's incapable of seeing anything that's a bigger picture for his daughter, or for that matter, for his wife. Now, Charles has big dreams for himself. His next big quest is to become the mayor of Naperville. But I have to tell you, honestly, I don't see myself as Mrs. Mayor of Naperville. That is not how I want to live out the next few years of my life. And I feel like if Charles can't get on board with my vision for my own future, I don't necessarily see a future for the two of us together. So there is a proposal to build a mosque in Naperville, and it has met with a great deal of opposition. And unfortunately, my husband Charles is leading a lot of that opposition, which honestly surprises me and saddens me. This is the father of a gay son and a Chinese daughter. Who is he to embrace small-mindedness? Now, I only see this as a win for the city of Naperville. The building that's being proposed itself is beautiful. It's unlike anything that we have here in our community. It's a style of architecture that we certainly don't have here. It's stunning, and the gardens that go along with it are serene and welcoming, and I really think that it will be a destination for people who want to not only practice Islam at this facility, but also who want to experience the peace and beauty of this site and the world of something that they're unfamiliar with. It's a chance to expand your horizons, as it were. I only see it as a positive for the community. The other thing, the Muslim community in Naperville, we are talking about doctors, lawyers, teachers. In fact, Charles's own gastroenterologist is Muslim, and I have noticed that lately it's gotten a lot more difficult to get an appointment. Just pointing that out. But these are people who are interwoven deeply into the fabric of our community. They're our friends, our neighbors. They pay their taxes. They coach our soccer leagues. I think it's shameful that we are causing so much pain and so much hurt to a sector of our community based on small-mindedness and prejudice. I'm sorry, I just think it's wrong.